Hello, hello, and welcome to Travel Quest Network's Partner Spotlight. My name is Joshua Harrell, and I am joined here by the fantabulous Grier Donald from Abercrombie and Kent. Welcome to your first Partner Spotlight with us.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's also the first Partner Spotlight we've had in a very, very long time, coming to you live from Atlanta. Of course, if you're watching live, I mean, you can be watching us live on all the different channels out there, but if you are, you can listen to this whenever it's available on demand within WorldVia Pro. But if you are watching this live, then keep the chatter going in our members-only Facebook group, because we've got an hour with Grier, and we can talk to her about anything that we want to, because it's our show.
It is, absolutely. Well, Joshua, thank you so much for having me here today. This is really fun, and it's fun to be the first one back in a while.
Yes.
So thank you, and we really appreciate our partnership with Travel Quest Network. We really have seen a lot of growth, and that's really exciting, and so excited to continue our relationship into the many-year futures.
Yes.
So, or many years.
And on that note, for those of you who are members of Travel Quest Network, Abercrombie and Kent just became a strategic partner of ours, and that is because they have a phenomenal product, and also that they want to work with us in helping you grow your business. Now, I do not know much about Abercrombie and Kent, so if you are like me, we're going to dig in. But if you are very familiar with their products, then definitely tell us about your experiences in the chat. I'm sure Grier would love to hear about it. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, but I do know if you watched the weekly chatter last week, I mentioned, or actually Erica Scanelli, our education manager, was mentioning that we were going to be doing a partner spotlight this week with you. And she said, and she's been in the industry forever, she said if someone asked her if she wanted to go on an Abercrombie and Kent, she just said yes. It didn't matter where it was. She just said yes. And that was because of the reputation. Yeah. So now you come from the agent side of things.
I do, yes.
So tell a little bit about your story.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. So I actually started on the advisor side several years ago with an agency out of Birmingham, Alabama, and then moved with them to Atlanta, and was definitely in the luxury realm, and so was very familiar with Abercrombie and Kent and the services they provided, and so was really excited when this opportunity came up. I had stepped out of the travel world for a few years and had always thought that if I went back, I wanted to go on the supplier side, and that was because I just loved the connection in the industry and building those relationships. I really thrived off of the partnership relationship building. And so when I found out about this position, and it's funny, I actually even called an old colleague and I said, well, is AK still the brand I knew them to be? And she said, absolutely. And I said, okay, well, good to know. And so fortunately I got the job. And so I am here now today. I started with them about 6 months ago, so still fairly new.
So we could trip her up if we wanted to. If we wanted to be mean, we could do that. But we're not going to do that.
Well, I appreciate that. So yes, definitely still learning. But again, was very familiar with it before I even joined. So really excited, and I love hearing that about Erica's response, because it really is the cream of the crop, and we really pride ourselves on that and the service we provide. So.
Well,
Yeah.
and you guys have been around for a while.
We have.
So
Yes.
tell a little bit about the story.
Yeah, so Jeffrey Kent started Abercrombie and Kent 60 years ago. We just in 2022 celebrated 60 years. And he started with his parents. They were in Kenya and really wanted to provide a higher level experience for safaris that was beyond just the going out into the bush and camping. They wanted it to be an elevated experience. So they really created one of the first sort of luxury camping experiences and safari experience, where Jeffrey's mother was known to bring her silver champagne bucket out on safari, so that at the end
That's
you
how I
could
would do it.
yeah, exactly. So at the end you could have your sundowners, your glass of champagne, and reminisce about what you experienced that day. So and then grew from there to where now we service the whole world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you brought us a video, and I think this would be a good time to cut away just to paint the picture of a little bit of what Abercrombie and Kent has to offer.
When we travel, we open the door to new wonders and endless possibilities. At Abercrombie and Kent, we deliver unique journeys for those with a passion to discover places that excite, inspire, and marvel.
A&K has taken us on adventures around the world. We've seen a new perspective. We're shown the world through a different lens.
For over 60 years, A&K has pioneered luxury travel. With over 55 local offices around the world, our team is always with you, from the first hello to the final farewell.
Our guides have been passionate teachers, explorers. They've unlocked the unseen. We've created unforgettable memories.
When you travel with A&K, you give back to the local communities that we're so privileged to explore. For every journey taken, we leave a positive impact. Experience the transformative power of travel with Abercrombie and Kent.
Wow. That was special.
Yeah, it is. You get chills when you see the videos and you see everywhere they've been and just the nature and wildlife and the world out there. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, really, every single clip was like a clip from a movie that I have watched, and I've been like, oh, I want to do the prayer wheels. I want to see Easter Island. All the things.
Yes.
I love it. But I love I don't know if you guys caught it. The guy he had his camera. Looked like he was either on a boat or on a caravan, and he's gobsmacked because he's not even taking pictures. He's just looking at whatever was out there, and I thought that was a really cool moment.
In awe, literally.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt in awe with the photos, or with the video.
Yeah.
And Amanda is watching us live, and she said, "Love that you service so many locations."
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. And we do. And one of the things that really sets Abercrombie and Kent apart is that we have 55 offices in more than, or in 6 continents around the world. So we truly do cover the world. And those are our on-the-ground operations teams. So whether they are executing the group departures that we have, or if they're doing handling the custom itineraries that we also build with your advisors to create those unique bespoke experiences for your clients. Those are all part of the Abercrombie and Kent network, and they're all under the main umbrella. So it's a worldwide, like I said, network basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to have that, to have boots on the ground in so many locations.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we don't like it. There are things that go awry in the world.
Yes.
And you never know when that's going to happen. That's, that is the nature of it. But you guys obviously know where everybody is.
Yes.
And have navigated these waters for a good bit.
Absolutely. For 60 years. I mean, think about all the things that have happened. A major pandemic.
Yeah. Surprise!
Yes, exactly. World occurrences, unrest in different countries. So it's not only when things go bump just on an individual trip, but when things happen around the world that do happen, knowing that you've got that security behind the brand and the security of the network of everyone being connected and being able to easily work together to make sure that everyone that is traveling with us at those times are safe and secure, and that we're able to move quickly to get people into the places that they need to be. So
that's awesome.
It is.
Well, not only are you going to get that top-notch service that you're known for, and experience, but they're looking out for you as well, and you get to have a very bespoke experience.
Yes,
I'm sure when something like that comes up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, actually, a really fun story was a coworker of mine did our Antarctica cruise this past December. And it was when Argentina won the World Cup. And so they had to, where they were supposed to be going while they were in Buenos Aires before they were headed down to Ushuaia, they had to reroute a little bit to get around the crowds of everybody celebrating in the streets. And she said it was so seamless that you would not have known that there was anything. I mean, they knew that there was some changes, but that it all happened very, very quickly and easily, and they went on with their day without a bump. And so it was great, and they got to be down there and get the feel of just the heightened excitement.
Yeah, the energy,
yes,
the charge.
Exactly. So just one of those kind of fun experiences that they were able to work around for sure.
Well, one of the things I noticed in the video, I don't know about you guys, but it not only are you covering all these beautiful destinations, but there's a level of style.
Yes.
So I mean, we are definitely talking about a very stylish brand, and if you're going to experience these destinations, you're going to do it in style.
Absolutely. And that leads us to what our ethos or motto is.
Okay.
Is adventure by day, luxury and comfort by night. And so the idea is that we want our guests to feel immersed into the destination and feel like they're really connecting to the places that they're traveling. But like you said, doing it in style, doing it in a way to where they're still getting that very authentic experience. You're doing the adventure, you're doing the ruggedness, you're doing the culture, everything like that. But then you're going back to a really nice accommodation to where you feel pampered and have that great sense of, I've just done all these great things and now I get to come and relax and enjoy for the evening. So, and it's, yeah. So
in looking at some of the destinations, they are ones that I know friends who love to travel.
Yeah.
Many of you, but one friend in particular, she loves to travel where she doesn't necessarily have to take a bath for like a month, and she backpacks through all these places, and she has amazing experiences with elephants in the river and whatever. But that's not my kind of travel. So I do want to get out and see all these things, but the idea of doing it a little more VIP style is
exactly.
I want to travel like Queen Elizabeth did. Like, that's how I want to do it.
Yes, we definitely want everyone to feel their. That there's a high level touch and there's a personal service to it. So, for example, with our group departures that we do around the world, we include, first of all, these are really small groups. These are no more than 18 to 24 people max, and most of the time they're not even that many people. So you're traveling with a really intimate group. And with that, we include things like a private transfer for your international air. So you're not waiting with, 10 other people to get on the bus to get to the hotel. You're getting picked up as you land by your own personal guide and driver and taken to your accommodations, or things like your luggage when you're ready to go on to the next spot gets transferred for you. You don't think about it. It ends up in the next hotel. You're ready to go. So the little touches like that. And then also we do have our resident tour directors who lead all of our group tours. And these are people that have either been born or lived in the destination their whole lives. They speak great English. They know the Western culture, but then they also know their culture, and they're so excited to share with their guests about the people and the experiences they've had. And we've had a resident tour director take people to his home where he had dinner with his family and 18 of his best friends, and they stayed up and celebrated into the wee hours and just had a great time. So it's those kind of special touches and personal touches that you can't really, I guess, quantify. Is that, or it's not? You can't put a tangible, I guess.
Well, the value of it is something that
you
can't you couldn't quantify that.
Yeah, thinking I'm like, what's the right word?
Yeah, and it's also I've been in those experiences where it's the spontaneity of that if a group of people, if they gel, and you want to continue that experience, and it opens the doors for I'm sure he's not always bringing 18 of his closest friends.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like there might be some people that you don't want to have.
Possibly.
But that kind of spontaneity is always fun.
Absolutely. And they're also really great about if there is especially with some of our custom itineraries where if a guide learns something about the guests while they're traveling, they'll try to work that into the itinerary. So, for example, we had a guide that was in Southeast Asia and found out one of the guests was a avid stamp collector. And so there was a store that he knew about, and he was like, oh my gosh, I've got to take you to this store. So they, to that point of having that spontaneous sort of detour, because it was something that the guide found out was really, the guest was really passionate about. So things like that really do add that extra level of service that our guides they're attuned to. They want to, they're listening, they're excited. Again, they want to show their culture, show the things that their city or their country has to offer, and they'll go and do those extra little services and touches to make the guests feel that much more special and make the experience that much more special.
That's very cool, because I love to travel to places where either friends of mine have family. I love to do what they're doing. So to have somebody pick up on the stamp collecting thing and be like, okay, well, I know we can make this little detour, and this is gonna knock their socks off.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is a story that they're still telling.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I feel like so many times guests walk away with a friend. They feel like, I've got a friend in this exotic country now that I've just spent 9 to 14 days with, or however long, and they do, and people will stay in touch, and so it's a lot of fun, and it's really great to see the interaction that our guides have with the guests and our expedition teams on our cruises, everything like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know Grier brought, going back to Jeffrey's original deal in Africa. Africa is a very big destination for you.
It is, yes. We do a ton of Africa. It's where we started. Kenya is where we started, and we adore Africa's. One of the. If you haven't ever been, if you can get there in your lifetime, I highly encourage it. It touches your heart like no other place. It's the only place in the world where you are out of your element, and especially if you're on safari, you are in the animals' worlds, in the kingdom. You're
a visitor.
Exactly.
They're not a visitor in your world.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. So it's fascinating.
Well, you brought us a package, so let's check out Africa the Abercrombie and Kent way. All right. So Grier was just asking me if I've ever been to Africa, and I have not. But I definitely everything that I saw there is that's I want that.
Yes.
I want that.
Yes.
Now, I assume that the jumping up and down, that is a dance, and that guy was trying to jump as high as the other person.
Masai Mara. Yeah. That is.
He wasn't
one
quite
of the things
getting
that,
it the height.
That is definitely a tradition of the Masai Mara in East Africa. So yes, and you get to interact with different tribal communities while in different areas. So we actually have a new destination, our new office that was just opened in Namibia.
Okay.
So if you've kind of done your traditional South Africa, East Africa, Namibia is a really great destination, and you do have a interaction with the tribal communities there. That's and they're communities that does not have a lot of interaction with outside world. So it's a really cool experience, and Namibia itself is just what it's known for is not as much of the wildlife, which there is some great wildlife there, but also just the difference in the geography and the sand dunes versus the coast versus the canyons. It's just a really beautiful country and destination. So a different Africa experience if you haven't done if you've done the traditional, but otherwise, you've got South Africa, which is much more kind of a diverse area where you're going to have the cosmopolitan. Yes, thank you. City.
I was like cosmetology. I don't know
exactly.
if there's
Cosmopolitan. With mixed with the winelands and the city, and then you go out and you get to see the safaris and the nature side of things. So really diverse. And then you have East Africa, which is sort of got that traditional Hemingway and Theodore Roosevelt safari, which is a lot what we just saw. That's absolutely amazing, where you're on the savannas with the acacia trees and the giraffes just walking past you, and you're watching elephants for hours, and you're like, I didn't realize I could watch elephants for as long as I can.
Well, so, and there was a couple that they were in a swimming pool, and there were elephants right there.
Yeah.
Where was that? Do you know?
I don't know the actual accommodations.
Okay,
but,
well, if you saw that, they were right there in an infinity pool, and by the way, there's some elephants.
I'm hesitant to say this because I might not be exactly accurate, but I want to say I think Botswana is where we have the highest concentration of elephants. Okay. So very easily could have been Botswana.
Yeah.
Nobody fact check me on that.
I'd be like, hello, elephant down there. I know you like to roll around in the mud, but I'm going to stay up here in my luxury
yes,
accommodations.
Exactly. I know. it's real scary when you're in a vehicle and an elephant sort of comes very close, and you're like, oh my gosh.
That's got to be.
It is fascinating, though. You just got to learn that they're not coming to, hopefully, unless you're doing something to provoke them.
Yeah, but let's not do that.
No,
let's not
please
do that.
do not.
Yeah, do not provoke the elephants or
They can
anything
be really
else.
scary.
No, a friend of mine did a safari, and I was following him on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. I'm so jealous. And then he had to post like a kill. And I was like, you know what? That's the part that I didn't need to see.
Yes.
But circle of life and all.
I know,
I'm all good with that. But
I
I like sleeping lions. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I will say, though, having experienced a kill, it is fascinating.
Really?
It really is. And it is one of those where, you're kind of like, oh, do I want to see this? But then when you actually track the, it had an amazing experience where we saw a cheetah, and we literally watched it for an hour as it, followed its prey and then finally attacked. And at that point, you kind of forget about the whole, you're so enthralled by the sort of the drama that's unfolding in front of you that when you actually see it, you're like, oh my gosh, he got it. It's fascinating. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So for you said you've been to Africa a few times.
Yes.
Where if someone's only going to go one time, what part?
Oh my gosh, that's really, go for a month.
If you're only going to go once, go for a month.
So that's a really, probably I would say most people's first Africa experience is going to be Southern Africa, because there is so much diversity. You have Botswana, where you have the highest concentration of predator cats and I think elephants, and that's where I want to go back, and I'm going to Google as soon as I get off and make sure I said that right.
If you guys want to, you
yeah.
can too.
And then you have Victoria Falls, you've got Kruger National Park, and then, like I said, you've got Cape Town, where there's just so much. It's such an amazing city in itself, and you've got the wineries and the winelands and the food, culinary experiences, and the Cape of Good Hope, the penguins on the beaches. So if you really want diversity and you want to see a lot, then Southern Africa. Like I said, if you want that really traditional safari, though, where you're going to see your probably biggest concentration of the Big Five, get the wide savannas and the wide open fields, then I'd say East Africa.
Gotcha.
Tanzania and Kenya. And
Gotcha.
That's where you see the whole migration. You'd have to stay for a long time to see the whole migration, but you can catch parts of the migration throughout the year in East Africa.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And to be able to go and do that during the day, and then
yes, go to your luxurious, amazing camp at night. And the great thing about the camps, and it depends, and there's so many different styles of safari camps too. There's the tented camp, then there's the permanent lodges that are more kind of your traditional accommodations, and then you have your mobile tent camps, which we actually just brought back our mobile tented camp in East Africa, where it moves not necessarily the whole, but it moves locations throughout the year, so that it's always in the prime spot to be able to catch the most wildlife. So, and then you have. Yeah, those are your main ones.
Gotcha.
Yes.
No,
it's amazing. But when you say tented camp, we're not talking about a tent where you got a pop-up cot. They're pretty, luxurious canvas tents where you've got your ensuite bathroom and your really lovely beds, and you're looking out over, again, the wildlife that are just walking across the savannah right in front of you. That is absolutely amazing.
Yep,
there's a reason they say don't go out at night by yourself.
Because someone might miss you. Because no, I think that is I was one of the in the video reel there. It was showing one of those tinted areas, and it looked like it was the mobile camps like that. But it looked like it was in a prime location, and the idea of it kind of moving around. That's kind of cool.
Yes,
I mean, having mobile bathrooms and everything like that. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go camping with you in North Georgia. I promise you that. I'm not, but I will go on safari with you to Africa with Abercrombie and Kent, and I think some of you would say the same. Let's see. I just want to acknowledge. We've got Jeannie watching. Hey, Stacy, Anna, Lisa, Brian, Marty, of course, Amanda, and Kari, and Debbie from Sequim, Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So just wanted to acknowledge you guys. Thank you for tuning in live for this partner spotlight. We're back in the Sequin Palace. So just a little story about why there are sequins. Okay. So, and it's now everywhere, and it's because we at Travel Quest World, our annual conference, in 2019, we were going to be in Vegas the very next year, and I was at another conference before our conference was starting, and I thought, oh well, if we're gonna say we're gonna be in Vegas, I need to go on to Amazon and order like a sequin jacket, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Which,
why would
prime,
you not?
Whatever. So I ordered this sequin jacket, and it was life-changing. I don't know how many times you've worn sequins.
Dresses for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that from my hotel room to the convention center, it was mind-blowing. People wanted to take photos with me.
Did they think you were famous?
Yeah, it was a lot. So now, if I don't show up somewhere with sequins, I have actually been told by people in our industry, you judgy people, that I am not dressed up enough.
Oh, no.
So anyway, the sequins thing became a thing, and back during the pandemic is when we started the partner spotlights. And we decided to have sequin curtains. So
love it.
This is the Atlanta version of the Sequin Palace, but Erica in New Jersey has her own version too. So be checking the calendar.
Wait to see it.
Yeah, check the calendar for some partner spotlights with Erica, because this is everywhere now. It is sequins
as
are
it
the
should
things
be.
as it should be. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, and for those of you who are members of Travel Quest Network, please go to Supplier Source and WorldVia Pro. You'll see all the updated information about our partnership, and you'll also find out about some other, and Supplier Sources and WorldVia Pro is where you get all the news on Travel Quest Network, WorldVia, as well as all of our partners. But definitely look in there, because there's some good information, but we were kind of highlighting a little bit about Antarctica. So we're going to go from Africa, and then let's talk about Antarctica for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the one little through line here is those penguins. You got some penguins over in Africa and the penguins over in Antarctica. So tell me about Antarctica with Abercrombie and Kent.
Yeah. So first of all, Abercrombie and Kent is one of the pioneers in Antarctica. We've been there for 30 years, so really one of the first operators in the region, and I'm very proud of that. We travel there in December and January. We have 4 itineraries, 2 that are focused on just the Antarctic Peninsula, and then 2 that actually include the South Georgia Islands and Falkland Islands as well. And so the South Georgia Islands is where you're going to see those king penguins that the big guys, not the emperor. The emperor's a little bit bigger than the king, but so
because that's why they named him that way.
Exactly. I think the emperors, and I can't say this, but with definity, I guess, but that they're a little more elusive. They're harder to find, or you have to sort of go off the trek a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure, but that's what I've heard.
Okay.
Where the king penguins, those are the ones that you see in thousands on the South Georgia Island. So when we go, we have a December sailing that's a really great multi-generational sailing.
Okay.
So it's right in that festive time when maybe the grandparents are wanting to take their kids and then their grandkids, or you have a family that's just wanting to travel together because they don't get to travel that much together during the year. And it has a Young Explorers program on it.
Okay.
So from ages 7 to 17, they have where basically the Young Explorers Club, they have their own dedicated expedition team member that takes them around. You learn about the ecosystem, the geography. You learn about the ship. You even go on your own excursions together.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, and there's times that the family is all together as well, but it helps break it up a little bit so that the kids have their own experiences as well. And then there's a big holiday celebration and a big New Year's Eve party. And then once you, and then that's sort of going through the islands, and then you circle back after New Year's and hit the Antarctic Peninsula. And that's where you can take Zodiacs and go actually onto the White Continent from there. That is really amazing. And it's funny, it's definitely cold, though I have heard some people say that it was not as cold as they thought it would be.
I have heard that.
Yes.
At least I guess it depends on when you go, but I have heard that.
Exactly. And it's everybody that I've talked to, and this is one that I have not personally been on, so I'm only going by hearsay, but just that it really is life-changing, and it's such an awe-inspiring place. And even just the, where somewhere like India, I think, hits all the senses in a very overwhelming way, where you're getting colors and sounds and smells. It's almost like the opposite, where it's you're hitting all the senses, but it's so quiet and silent. The silence is almost that deafening silence that you can just hear it, or you know what I mean, like that. And then all the white and just the polar bears polar bears are more north. Never mind. Sorry. The penguins. I know. I'm sure everybody that's watching is loving this.
Well, there. So I did know that Antarctica means no bears.
Yes.
And the Arctic means bears. So that's the only thing
Yes,
I can fact check you on
exactly,
is that part. Because I was
Threw
like,
that
wow,
out there.
that's a pretty interesting. I just assumed polar bears were hanging out everywhere. No.
But you do get the more marine life for
Yeah.
sure in the Antarctic, and the penguins and the seals and the whales that just come swimming by while you're on the boat. So
Well, I love that you said about the multi-generational travel, because that is an experience that, I mean, it is obviously on many people's bucket lists.
Yeah.
But the idea of taking the whole gang, that could be a little daunting. If you were planning it for yourself,
Yes,
but also, there's certain
apprehensions. Maybe.
Yeah, and I want to be comfortable, and I also
Yeah.
want to make sure that my kids are comfortable.
Yeah.
And what I loved about what you said about the young explorers and their experience is they get to go and have that experience, and it is separate from the parents, and then everybody can come together and talk about what
Exactly.
there can be some excitement.
Yes, absolutely.
That and that would I'm not a grandparent, nor do I play one on TV. But I think that would be worth the price of admission.
Yes.
To have a family coming together around an experience that was unlike anything else.
Absolutely. So, and I can speak somewhat personally to that, where my whole family actually went to Africa. That was one of the times I went to Africa, and I equate it because it's sort of that same experience in some ways, where you're all there together. You're in this remote areas together. You're not going off and doing, you can't go jump on the video game and everything like that. And it really was just such an amazing, everybody that when we came back hands down most amazing trip that any of us have ever done, and nobody fought, nobody, there was no, all those family dynamics really did not come up. Everybody just, it was you were in such a place that was so fascinating and so just out of this world that all that sort of disappeared. And I can imagine Antarctica is a lot of that same thing. You're sort of humbled by the surroundings that you're in.
Yeah. Humbled and overwhelmed,
yes.
Probably in a good way.
Absolutely.
But I know many family vacations don't quite go that way. So I'm going to say, whether it's the deafening silence of Antarctica
yes.
or all the sounds of India,
yeah.
What an experience. And that was, looking at some of the video from India, what a way to see the color, the food,
yes.
the everything. Because
Especially,
India is very I'll speak
yeah.
personally, it's overwhelming. There's that I've not been, but anyone that I know people that work there, I know people that visited often, and just when they're describing it to me, I would need someone to guide me
absolutely.
through in order to feel comfortable and like to not feel overwhelmed.
Yes, absolutely. And I was actually just thinking that when you said that that's where having a tour operator or someone who's been there for as long as we have, who knows it, who has, like you said, the guide and the regional director or tour director who's from there. It's like you've got that sense of, again, that security of, okay, I'm in good hands and I'm able to come and experience this amazing place without it being so overwhelming. And so it's overwhelming in itself just because of the nature of just all the sounds and the people and the colors and as they say, like every single sense gets heightened.
Yeah.
So to know that you've got somebody that's your friend there to take you around and make sure that you're able to enjoy it, but enjoy it in a way that's not as,
your speed. It's
exactly.
your speed,
yeah.
not their speed,
yes.
because there's a lot going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
But kind of going back, you did bring us a little video on Antarctica.
Yes, yeah.
So before we jump all around the world, to how many destinations?
So we are in pretty much all 7 continents. So we've got 55 offices in 6 continents, but we traveled all
over the place,
all over all 7 continents of the world.
Wow.
I know.
Well, let's check out
amazing.
Antarctica, the Abercrombie and Kent way. Wow.
I know.
That was a quick video.
Yes, it was. It was very short. But one thing to note also about our Antarctica cruises is that it's the L'Oreal is the boat that we're on, and
okay.
it's a really luxury boat. So again, it goes back to that whole ethos of adventure by day, luxury and comfort by night. Because there's definitely some. When people think of expedition, they sometimes think of it as being a little more rugged, a little bit more, you're foregoing the comforts for the experience. And we really don't do that. We don't forego that comfort and that luxury accommodations for the expedition and the adventure side of it. It's you're going in style for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you do like that, there are plenty of
yes,
brands that
absolutely,
do that.
Absolutely, yes.
So if you want that kind of experience, there are brands
Yeah.
that will take care of you in that way. But
absolutely.
if you want to do it in luxury,
and they're great brands out there too. So that's
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And as long as I think we can both agree that as long as people are out there traveling and experiencing things, that's how we grow as individuals,
yes,
and that's how the world grows.
Absolutely.
So, if you
However
want,
you want to do
yeah,
it.
if you want to do it in style, or if you want to be all rugged and feel like you're doing the journey to the center of the earth,
Yeah.
you can do that as well. Just different companies
Yes,
there.
exactly.
But Antarctica, a lot of people talk about Antarctica. And that is, bucket list destination, just like doing Africa and safaris. Although Africa, there's so much in Africa that you can do that. Yes,
Yeah.
I could see. Yeah, you need to be there for months, I think,
Yes,
to really
yeah.
take the whole
Well, and then
country
we
in.
also, everybody thinks of Africa and they think of sort of the safari and
Right.
the southern half of it. And then you've got the whole other part of the continent,
Yeah.
Egypt and, Morocco, and Ethiopia is actually even a destination that has really become more popular over the years. So there's so much to obviously explore, but yes, that traditional Africa experience is pretty good.
Well, it's those
Fantastic,
roots.
yeah.
It's those roots. I mean,
Yeah.
the champagne bucket and
Yeah.
the silver. When you mentioned Victoria Falls, it immediately triggered. I think there was a Sherlock Holmes book about murder at Victoria Falls or
Oh,
whatever,
yes,
and
yeah.
I just remember watching one of the old versions of that movie, and it was filmed there, and I was just like, wow, this is so massive and beautiful. But you
Yes,
just when you
yeah.
said Victoria Falls, it made me think of that. And I mean, Africa has just been I mean, it's obviously a part of your story, but when I think about the experiences and things like that you see in the movies, it is that more luxurious
Yes.
version. So
Yeah.
so you guys have that on your list. Now, what is out of all the destinations, and you've got a lot, what is maybe a gem that someone doesn't necessarily think about with
You know
A and
what?
K?
That's a great question, and I think there's more than one answer to that.
I'm
but
sure if I
will,
asked everybody on your
yes,
team, there would be a
exactly.
different
Somebody
answer.
would-
Yeah.
You know what? Colombia.
Really?
Yeah, we just opened an office in Colombia, and I've been, again, it's not a destination I've been to yet, which I'm dying to get there, but it's got beaches, it's got culture, it's got the vibrant cities of Cartagena and Bogota, and it's got coffee, and it's just it's grown past the stigma of the Colombian cartel that
Yes.
that really is not part of the culture there at all, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful country, and it's one that's really starting to get onto a lot of people's bucket list. And so I think it's one of those that if you're one of those people that likes to go to a destination before it really starts to take off, I'd say Colombia is a good one to put on that list to get to sooner than later.
That's interesting that you
Yeah.
say that, because there's that be a part of the pioneers who are discovering these places,
Yeah.
these gems
Yeah.
before everyone else. It's like that's a cool. Hey, is that on your list? And if
Yeah,
it's not,
exactly.
and if it's not on your list, it might be something on your client's list
Exactly.
that they haven't even gotten to yet.
Yeah.
Like they're ticking all the boxes everywhere else. Well, now we've got another one in Colombia. That's
Absolutely.
interesting.
And the great thing about South America is we're jumping to all the different places around the world.
Yes.
As
Join us on
Yeah.
this tour of within an hour we're going to tour the world.
Exactly. We might not get to I don't know. We'll see if we can get over to Southeast Asia and Asia after this.
Challenge
But,
accepted.
Yes, exactly. So, but right now, everyone's going to Europe. Everyone, I
Yeah.
mean, and as much as I love Europe, and there's a reason why everybody is going there, don't get me wrong. But if anybody who's planning travel right now, the prices right now are have hiked up some
Yeah.
in the area. So South America is one of those great destinations where there's definitely cities that you can get that European feel, the Buenos Aires, Argentina, even in like Uruguay and things like that, Santiago. But you also have so much culture, and you have so much, they've got the wine, they've got the great food, they've got the mountains down in Patagonia, you've got Brazil that's got all the, colors and vibrancy, and it's not, the prices are great, it's easy to get to, it's the same time zone. I feel like South America is one of those sort of underestimated or underrated places to travel when it's so easy, and it's really got so much to offer. So
That's interesting that you say that, because this morning I was meeting with one of our partners with a cruise line, and they're known for for certain areas of the world, actually one area in the world that they're more known for, very expected. However, then they group everything else into the rest of the world. Okay, so rest of world, and then our highest percentage as our network of travel advisors and entrepreneurs was South America.
Oh, no
and
way.
it surprised me.
Yeah.
I was thinking out of all the places that one surprised me as the greatest percentage of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's how narrow this
Yes.
this brand is. But I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just feel like it's one of those plenty of people travel to South America, but it's not on top of mind. And sometimes if you're trying to maybe steer your clients away from the place where everybody else and their mother is going, it's a great alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the airfare can kill it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Right now, that
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this premium experience, and then all of a
Yes.
sudden you do the airfare, and you're like,
Nope,
how
never mind.
is there something less than economy that I can get
Yes.
on?
I mean, seriously, it is true. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking sometimes because you will have people that have great, healthy travel budgets, and the airfare takes up half of it, and it's just like, it just kills you sometimes. Yeah.
It does. Now
No
you
offense
did.
to our airline friends.
Yeah, no offense, but please help us
Yes.
out. Get some more planes in the air.
Yes.
So challenge accepted on Southeast Asia.
Okay.
So let's talk about that because we definitely saw some of that in the package that you brought.
Another area that is great value, Southeast Asia. It's really as far as the accommodations that you're good. I mean, you can get some really 5-star accommodations at the same price as like a 3-star accommodation in Europe right now. I mean, it's just the bang for your buck is there for sure. Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam are all really great countries that you can combine together, or you can actually even just concentrate on, one or two of them. Surprisingly, and I don't know why I even say surprisingly, I did visit all 3 and loved them all. Loved Vietnam. It was one of the coolest countries, and it was just, there was a lot of excitement, and again, I use the word vibrancy a lot, but it was just really vibrant, and the food was amazing. The food all over is just incredible. Great street food. We have an insider access experience where you can kind of follow Anthony Bourdain's journey of food around Vietnam, and we can do some really cool culinary experiences throughout the 3 countries. So and just all over Southeast Asia. It's not limited to those 3. Great beaches, great up in the Chiang Mai area of Thailand, you have the elephants, and you can go do the elephant camps. So it's a destination that I highly, highly recommend getting to if you can.
Yeah.
And it's a trek, but it's absolutely worth it. And once you're there, you kind of forgot about the long road to get there. It's no longer than going to Africa, really. So.
So I mean,
Yes.
if you're thinking about it, I mean, hey,
absolutely.
There's so much in the video package we saw that so much of the architecture.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the prayer drums.
In Cambodia, seeing the Angkor Wat and the pagodas. And
there's just things that I feel like that would be absolutely breathtaking to see.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I might be down for some street food, but I would hope that maybe in the evening I can, settle in with
nice.
Maybe some ice cream, just normal ice cream. I don't even need green tea ice cream. I'm kind of basic when it comes to that.
There's another destination that has popped up a lot recently that I'm hearing more about. Going back to your sort of gym question, South Korea.
Really?
There's
Okay.
been a ton of interest in South Korea, so which is fascinating to me. So again, another one of those put on the bucket list if you're trying to get somewhere that you have not been, or get somewhere before everybody else is going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in preparing for us getting together, now obviously Erica had given her endorsement of Abercrombie and Kent, but one of our members, who she has clients that have been with her throughout her career. So she started with them when they just got married, right? So she's done the whole evolution
Yes,
of
yeah.
the family and all that.
That's the best kind of client.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
when people really map it out, it's like, oh wow, there's so many opportunities to go
Yes.
from product to product, but what she was saying is once a client is an Abercrombie and Kent client,
Yes.
that is, no matter where they're going in the world, there is that level of comfort that they're used to. So it
Absolutely.
makes exploring all the
Yes.
different continents and the different areas easier.
Yes.
And the way that she was explaining it to me was that it was, in me asking you that question about what you thought was a gem, for her, that's what she would always be looking for. What's the thing that they're not asking for, because they're such a fan of the experience that they know they're going to get.
Yes,
No
yeah.
matter, even the destination is going to be different,
Yes,
and that
yeah.
that experience will be different.
Yeah.
But there's that consistency.
Yeah, absolutely, and that goes. There's a certain A and K standard that obviously every destination has to live up to, for sure. And that's where, going back to the regional tour director that is on all of our group departures, and then also the local guides. I mean, these are the again, the cream of the crop. We handpick the top guides that we know are going to always be consistent and offer that amazing experience. And we have a lot of times clients who come back and say, they're doing a trip again, a destination again, sorry. And they're like, oh my gosh, we 10 years ago had this most amazing guide, and is he still around, or she still around, or whatever. And a lot of times they will be, because our guides stay with us for 20 years. 10 years, and so it is. It's it's a great company that the people that work for the company are really proud to be part of, and do pride ourselves on offering that consistent personal touch and high level service.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that, well, when we first met, I was very excited to meet you, and the fact that you are in our neck of the woods.
Yes, yes.
So I was like,
here all the
hey,
time.
will you please come and do a partner spotlight in the studio with us? And she said yes. So
Yes.
very excited about that. Very excited about our strategic partnership.
Oh, absolutely, we are too.
Yeah, you guys are going to see a lot from Travel Quest Network and WorldVia and Abercrombie and Kent. Very, very excited to have you guys as partners. And I know you guys are too, like Amanda said. So happy that you go to so many destinations. And Amanda knows. I know Amanda, so I know she knows. But a lot more in store.
Absolutely.
But thank you
Yes.
so much
Oh,
for
thank
coming.
you.
And
This is
and
really
you
great.
kind of christened our Sequin
Yay!
Palace.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I have to say, so when I was talking with Joshua before last week, kind of getting a brief on everything, he described the set decor, and I looked in my closet, and I was like, I know the perfect dress to wear, and it embodied all the same.
You got it. You got it dead on. You got it dead on. And she's raised the bar, so I now need to up my game. Like, you can't just have a bunch of sequins in the background. I need to up my game. But no, thank you so much, Grier,
Yes.
for
Oh my
coming.
gosh, thank you. This was really great.
Guys, please reach out.
Thank you all so
Reach out to
much.
Grier. Her information is in the supplier source in WorldVia Pro. I definitely encourage you, if Abercrombie and Kent is in your wheelhouse, or if it's about to be in your wheelhouse, please reach out to her, because at the end of the day, I'm going to speak for you.
Yes.
Your role is to help grow
Absolutely. Yes.
business for you. So she's going to help you strategically think about how to incorporate her brand, her products into your clients, there's a lot of spontaneous collaboration that can happen just
Absolutely.
from a conversation. So
Absolutely.
definitely reach out to her. And thank you guys for tuning in live or watching this on demand. We've got way more partner spotlights coming up. We've also got our Power Talks with Erica. Our partner connections. You know we've got conversations with Velma. Lots of programming coming your way. So hopefully we are keeping you entertained while you are making that booking, you are working on whatever you are working on, or maybe even while we hear that a lot of people will watch on demand while they're cooking.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
I love
I
that
do
it
that.
becomes a family
Yes,
thing.
yes.
You could either binge Netflix or you could binge WorldVia Pro. I'm going to tell you
I
which
love
one's
it.
my favorite. So we are going to send you out with another video on Abercrombie and Kent. Until next time, take care of yourself so we can take care of each other.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye. Thank y'all.